got a new Haro GoPro Silver. It is the Haro Silver 7. Yeah, look at that. I'll be able to make better videos with this new camera, and I hope you can see all the little odd imperfections all over my face. That's right. I got some good digital footage for you guys. I'm hoping that most of the footage from here on out will get better via video quality will get better. And from here on out, everything should be amazing. Now, at the current moment with the SUV, I have all the brakes done. They're done. I just ordered the rear shocking coils for it, along with a rear main seal, because my brother decided to rev the engine on it and blew and cracked the seal, and now I have an oil leak. I ran low on oil because I was checking the temp of it one day, and it gave me the low oil light and shut off the engine. I have to get the rear main seal replaced before I can add oil back in and fire it up again. So as soon as the rear main seal comes in and the rear shocking coils come in, I will be getting another individual to actually do that for me. I already am waiting on a price check to see how much it will be for him to actually do it. Now, this is a local guy to Plainfield that lives right here in town, and I try to help small businesses like this. So, if he will do it for a reasonable price and I can afford for him to work on it and have him replace the rear main seal and the rear shocking coils, I will give him a shout out. Alrighty, so if you guys don't know what this is going to become, obviously bananas, I know they look really, really brown, but they're actually softened bananas. I do it this way purposely. But anyway, we are doing banana bread. So we got the bananas, we got the eggs, we got the milk, we got butter. It is still kind of softening, it's still a little firm yet. Obviously measuring cups and measuring spoons. The food processor is out because I can only find the cinnamon sticks. So I will be processing those to grind those down into powder. Obviously we got flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt. I do have a lot more of that, and sugar. So I'll be making all this in a couple different mixing bowls. So let's get this camera set up here, and I'll be right with you. Okay, so ignore that. It was from dinner last night. But anyway, I had to grab 2 mixing bowls, one for dry, one for wet, and let's get this started. And yes, because of my tiny little apartment here, I have to put most of my bigger stuff in plastic bags and literally hang it up. Got the rest of it in there. I got cutting boards in there. I got some other bigger stuff, like I have a cupcake pan actually in there as well. But yeah, that's where all some of my bigger stuff is that I use to actually cook with. So now we got it all set up, ready to go. I'm gonna start with the dry stuff first, obviously. Just makes it easier. Okay, so I gotta grind the cinnamon sticks before I can actually do anything. I don't know what I'm gonna grab that out for. So let's get the food processor set up. Obviously, I'm gonna remove my watch just because. And of course, it's brand new, so it still has the seal on it. As every time I try to go to the store to pick up cinnamon, they are always completely out. That's why this is taking me so long, because I finally said, you know what? I'm just going to go grab some cinnamon sticks. 3 should be enough to make it, right? I hope, right? Because we only need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So that should be more than enough. Okay, so now I feel like a true old person. I don't know how to say it. I already had it. Gotta feel like an idiot right now. Go ahead and throw in the comments. Izzy, you're an idiot. Cannot believe you forgot that you already had ground cinnamon. Go for it. Roast me in the comments. I really don't care. Oh my god. I feel so dumb right now. After that fiasco. Oh man. Okay. Dry ingredients. Ground cinnamon. 1 teaspoon. Cinnamon, check. Oh, let's see. Salt, 1 tablespoon. Baking soda. Here, I'll start throwing all of it over here. So I know those 2 are already in. Baking soda and baking powder, both the exact same. 1 tablespoon. And baking soda also has a lot of other uses. If you actually put them into a tiny mason jar and put a mesh over the lid and wrap a rubber band around it, it'll actually help take the odor out of your refrigerator. Otherwise, it is actually safe to leave it in the box, and obviously if it's opened, it'll help eliminate the odors from your refrigerator. So I can technically throw that right into my fridge and it'll help keep my refrigerator actually smelling clean. But yeah, okay, that one's in. So it is the all-purpose flour, and we need 2 cups. And I'm using the Pillsbury bread flour flour. So yeah, to me it is a little better to use. You don't technically have to use the bread flour. All-purpose flour works the exact same. I'm just being a little bit more picky about what I use. So if you guys want to use the all-purpose flour, go right ahead. It does not matter. It really does not affect the outcome of the bread. So I'm just obviously being a little bit more picky. So there's one. There's 2, and I made a mess with my flour. It's alright. We're baking. We're gonna make a mess. It's all good. And then with flour, after you've opened the bag, it's actually better to actually put the flour into the freezer. Now, I would normally put it into a container like this and then put it in the freezer, but I don't have another container to actually throw this into. Best thing you can do is just wrap a rubber band around it and yeah, do it that way. So we grab a rubber band. Hopefully I got one big enough to stretch over that bag, and I can throw it right into the freezer. Just like that. I'm gonna throw that right into my freezer. Oh well, made a mess. Yes, I understand I'm gonna make more of a mess, but I'm a little OCD when I'm cooking. I like to make sure that my surfaces are clean and they're not all dirty and everything else. Yes, I'm OCD like that. I know it's weird, but it's me. So, okay, so now the flour is in. The next thing we need to put in is the granulated sugar. And we only need 1 cup. The only other purpose I use my sugar for is my coffee, but I really don't use it that much. If you're wondering about this spoon, it's a 2 tablespoon spoon, and it actually came with the container. So if you guys are wondering where I got the container from Dollar General for $5. And it came with the spoon. So hey, for $5, pretty good deal. So alright, that was all the dry ingredients. Let me grab a whisk and mix that quick. Okay, better yet, I'm going to use the whisk on the wet ingredients. I'm actually just going to use a spoon and just kind of toss it together. Doesn't have to be precise. You will be mixing it all into the same exact container later on. And this is just to kind of incorporate all the dry ingredients together. It'll help mix everything more precisely once you go to put the wet and dry ingredients into the same mixing bowl, which you'll be doing that in a third bowl, because obviously if you're filling this container with dry and you're filling this container with wet, putting them together, it's going to be even more. So you're going to have to use a third mixing bowl to put all of this together into one. So this is just the first step of making banana bread. Just mix everything together. And you can mix this to your heart's content. Otherwise, if you feel like it's good and incorporated together, you can stop at any time. It does not matter. If you did not have all the ingredients, obviously you'll have to rewatch the video a few times, once or twice over. Otherwise, if you think that my process is a little slow and boring and you want to watch somebody else make banana bread, go ahead and watch somebody else. That is completely up to you. I know I'm not the most entertaining person in the world, but hey, I have fun with it. So there we go. That's the dry ingredients. Move that to the side and then work on step number 2. And that is wet ingredients. So for the wet ingredients, obviously we have the butter, the bananas, the milk, and the eggs. So with the bananas, normally it asks for 3 bananas, but I like an extra strong banana flavor in my banana bread. So I'm actually going to use 4 of these, or actually I'm going to use all 5 of these just to use them all up. And I know it's not recommended. It does not harm the banana bread any, sorry. But it just makes it better. It really enhances the banana flavoring. So let's start with the eggs, because it's the quickest thing to mix up. We gotta do 2 eggs. Obviously, I got a dozen here. I don't have to use all of them, just the 2. 2 eggs. And of course, on my first shot, I got a shell in it. Now, an easy way to get a shell out, just use part of the shell. Makes it incredibly easy. Just like so. And it's out. Yes, you want to pre-whip your eggs before you put anything else in it, just to know that the eggs are properly kind of whipped together like that. So anyway, next thing, we're going to add the milk. And with the milk, it's 1 tablespoon. That's it, 1 tablespoon of milk. It's not very much milk. So I'm going to go a little purposely overboard on the milk, about 1.5 tablespoons. I know I didn't measure out 1/2 tablespoon, but I'm not being precise. So, alright, so that's all mixed together. So then it's just bananas and the butter. Forgot about the butter. So let's put the butter in here. And that is unsweetened. Unsweetened butter. It's the Imperial brand. I know it's so-called not the greatest brand in the world, but I like using it. Butter's still a bit firm. So I may have to let this sit like this for a little while just to let the butter kind of soften more. So I'm going to pause here and let the butter soften because it's not quite soft enough to incorporate. So I'll be right back. Alright, so the butter has softened up quite a bit more than what it was. But now I'm just going to move on to cutting the bananas and getting that incorporated into the wet ingredients. I know the bananas don't look the greatest, but it's not what it looks like on the outside, it's what it is on the inside. I know, I could easily enough use a potato masher to actually mash all this in. I understand that. Yes, I do have a potato masher to actually do this. So let me grab that. And I do understand a potato masher is called a potato masher for a reason, but you don't have to only use it for potatoes. For anything that you want to have mashed up, anything. Just like I'm doing now, I'm using it on bananas, and it's not even a banana masher. And that's pretty well incorporated as best as I'm going to worry about. So let's grab mixing bowl number 3 and put all of this together. I don't think I've ever used, the only time I've ever used this one is actually making the heart attack, or the walking heart attack dessert a few months back. So let's get everything in here. Okay, I'm only going to put about half of this in, of the dry. And then I'll put the rest of it in once I have this first half incorporated. Do about a half at a time. And of course, I got the handle dirty. Yes, I'm a cook. I'm not certified chef or nothing like that. But even I still make mistakes. Even though that wasn't really a mistake, it was just getting the handle dirty, but still. So there you have it. It's all mixed together. And it did lose a little butter and a little bits of everything else here and there. It happens. You're not going to get every little thing precisely 1,000%. So it will look a little off. I do understand that the butter was not completely room temperature at the time when I actually started putting all this together. So you kind of see a couple little chunks of butter in there, here and there. I'm fine with that. So now let's get the bread pans out. Now there's a few different things you can actually do to the bread pan. Lard would be the one thing to like rub lard in it. You can do that, that's fine. I actually use olive oil. This olive oil is a butter infused canola oil. So now that I got the pans oiled, I'll just start kind of pouring a little bit in each one and do about halfway up the side, because then it'll rise as it's in the oven. Well, technically I'll be using a toaster oven, but an oven nonetheless. So and they're about even. I'm not going to be 100% precise. Alright, as you can tell, it's a little firm on top. It actually came like way up here. Of course, there's only so much room in the oven for it to go up. So it did kind of crisp the top a little bit. It is actually cooked all the way through. I did check it with the toothpick. Came out pretty clean. There's, a little bit on it. But you let it sit for a little bit, it'll kind of bake the rest a little bit. So I had to take some out of this other loaf So I took about half of it out. I will bake that one once this one's cool enough to actually take out of the pan, and I'll flip it upside down on my baking sheet that I have up here. I'll just throw some plastic on it and then put it on there. So I have to move this and rearrange that a little bit. So I'll throw the second one in. I'll get that one going. So that way I got at least kind of like 2 loaves baked. So I did have to turn the temperature down to about 250. So I'll do about 275. And I'll start it at about 45 minutes. And hopefully that'll cook this other one fine. I did have some smoke coming out because of this one, because of how much it rose while it was in the oven. So let me move that to the side and let it kind of cool down for now, and give it about 20 minutes. Let it kind of rest a little bit, and then I'll cut into it. I'll cut the top of it off first before I actually try it. So there's loaf number 2. It only took about 26 minutes, as you guys can see from time lapse, or not from the time lapse, but the first one, it's actually really freaking good. It's perfectly cooked. There's no wet spots in the batter, nothing like that. It's perfect. And this one, look at that top. Looks so much better than the first one that it came out. So I'll let this one finish cooling some more, take that stuff out of there, and then throw the batter I have still left over that I took out of this one, and throw the batter into this pan, and throw this pan back in, because obviously that one needs to cool. So I'll move all this stuff around to get the cooling rack out and get all this set up. So this finished baking up and enjoy my banana bread. Like I said, if you guys want to make this, I can provide the whole list step by step. If you guys need to watch the video multiple times over to get everything correct the way I did it, and go ahead and watch it multiple times. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment below. If you're new, I'm Izzy. I know it's upside down, but yeah. I'm Izzy. welcome to the video, or welcome to the channel. But yeah, and don't worry, for some of you guys that have been around for a while, I will be coming out with a workout video soon. So don't worry. It's just taking time. Just like getting this video together for you guys, it just took time. So enjoy for now. Peace out. Have a good one.